YouTube Nation, Main Event TV, aka me TV, aka the Eagle has landed, or should I say, crash landed, and fans are pissed off and they have every right to be. They do. But before I get started, I need to express something about these Eagles fans, alright? Because some of you Eagles fans, there's something fucking wrong. You're fucking touched in the head, alright? And I'm gonna say this because the amount of disrespect that I have received in the previous couple of weeks is just ridiculous, alright? Event, why are you so harsh on the players? What are you talking about? We can't be beat, blah, blah. Really, we can't be beat. We can't be beat. Obviously, you're not watching the fucking games, all right? We can be beat. Each week, I have broke this shit down for the last 2 seasons. And I've been on the money, except, was it when the Eagles beat the Cardinals? That really fucking threw a wrench in the gears, but that's not a point, all right? The point is, I have been on point about these players. I have been on point about their arrogance. I have been on point about the coaching. We're going to talk about this today. Any of you Eagles fans who are still thinking that, you know, the days of sitting in front of your camera and talking all this shit and all that's okay, no, it's not. Because I'm telling you now, before the game, I was talking to people down at 5th and Luzerne. I was down in the Badlands as well. People in Philly will know this, all right? And they watching y'all videos, all right? And they told me, and I didn't say this, they sent the message saying, cut the shit out. All right? Cut the bullshit out. All you Eagles apologists, cut the shit out. Because if they see you in the street, that's it. I'm just sending a message. All right? I'm letting you know. Shit is getting real now. The days of just talking all this shit in front of your camera and all that, those days is over. All right? Now you're going to have to live up to what you're talking about at this point. Just letting you guys know. Y'all outdated. Now, we need to move on. At least I'm not going to yell at y'all today. I'm just going to talk to y'all. I'm just going to talk to y'all, all right? Because as far as I'm concerned, what happened yesterday was a joke. And I'm going to start off with the post-game interviews before I get into the analysis of the game. Now, guys, for those who didn't see what happened, all right, at the end of the game, all right, the players threw the fans under the bus again. They threw the fans under the bus. Vince Young, let's start off with Mr. Dream Team. Vince Young comes out and says, you know, you shouldn't really pay attention to the fans that much. You know, they don't know all the situations. And yes, now mind you, we are hailed as being a very knowledgeable fan base. We don't know all the situations, and I don't really care about, you know, that game right there because we got to give, you know, it's in the past and we got to look forward to the next game. Vince, shut up. You managed to piss everybody off in that small soundbite, even the media. Ray Didinger. Now, for those who didn't see the post-game show, Ray Didinger, I don't like Ray Didinger. For anyone who's watched my previous, you know, my older videos, I don't like him, all right? Goes off on Vince Young, goes in on him, talking about some, what do you mean you don't care about this game? The season's over. This is what the game was riding on. It's done. You're only worried about yourself and your stats, and no one cares. He's like, I don't care about your stats. Like, he went off on Vince Young. He went off. Fans online have been going crazy, all right, because of what Vince Young said. But that's not all. That's right. You saw the other interviews. Cullen Jenkins comes out and says, fans, yeah, you fans, they understand you're frustrated, but you shouldn't be blaming Reed. You really need to calm down. And first off, fans don't need to calm the fuck down, Cullen Jenkins. You know, missed the first half. I got a tackle now. I'm going to celebrate. All of a sudden, I'm hurt again. Get the fuck out of here. We're going to talk about that in a minute, all right? But not only Cullen Jenkins came out, LaShawn McCoy came out and said, look, Andy Reid isn't going anywhere, all right? So fans, get over that shit. Yeah, all right? Andy Reid's not going anywhere. He says, we all know and everybody knows that Andy Reid's a good coach. Really? Really, McCoy? Okay, anyways, and I'll talk about that later, about the coaching, but, you know, just to prove him wrong. But, all right, McCoy, you want to say that? I was kind of shocked that McCoy would come out and say something like that. Guy's been, you know, pretty cool with his mouth for the previous 2 seasons. You know, this current season and last season. He hasn't really said much towards the fans, but he's telling them to calm down. You don't tell nobody to calm the fuck down. But Jason Kelce, again, comes out. It's like, oh, my God, this dude don't know shut up. He says, you know, all the players, they heard the fire Andy chants. Right? They heard him. And they said that it was very disrespectful. It was disappointing. And he said that the fans have to understand that it's not just, you know, the coaching. But you have to understand, and Cullen Jenkins said the same thing, it's the players. And I said this time and time again. If you're going to say it's not the coaching, it's the players, then you players need to name names. It's that simple. Be a man about it. Be a man about it. Now, Kelce said he understands, you know, the fans' frustrations, though. And Kelce is the last person to talk since he was, you know, earlier this season threatening to beat up fans. I'm not trying to hit outside of NovaCare. Now, fans have been very angry right now. They're talking about occupying the NovaCare Center. I mean, fans have just gone off. They have gone off because they are tired of this treatment. The players keep throwing them under the bus. This is the biggest divide I've ever seen between the Eagles players and their fan base, ever. In all my years of watching Eagles football, ever. But that's not all. No. Fans are starting to go after other fans now, all right? Because for those who don't know, if you've been reading the Twitter or reading any type of forums online, they're looking for fans are looking for other fans who have wide receiver 10, yeah, that jersey, so that they can troll them because of what happened last night. Now, look, guys, I'm not going to harp too much on him, all right? All I'm going to say is that he dropped 2 big passes in the end zone. He turned the alligator arms for who, for what. Yep, and we're going to talk about that later, all right? I'll show you some examples, but that's not all right? We all know that his biggest threat is the deep threat. We know that, and he couldn't even do that yesterday. And he was benched again. This is the second time in 2 games consistently, back-to-back games, he has been benched for Chad Hall, all right? And in the post-game interview, he came out and said, I'll have to deal with being benched. Which I gave him kudos. I was like, wow, you know, I was expecting him, because everyone else went this whole cocky route, and the fans, and this, you know, he was the only person that just says, I have to deal with being benched. He didn't say it was his fault. He just said, I'll have to deal with being benched. Yeah. So even though he's still trying to keep some type of pride or whatever, so I'm not going to jump on him too much, all right? But understand, guys, he is a liability at this point. He is. And I know everyone's like, oh, what do you mean? I had some of you guys telling me that we can't win without him. Where were you at when we went to the Super Bowl before he was even on the team? Where were you at? Some of you people either have some short-term memory loss, or you just don't understand this dude isn't as good as he is. He came out a couple weeks ago and said that the defenses have figured him out. Defenses have figured out the offensive scheme. Understand this. He came out and said this. So this is not just me just making shit up. You understand that, right? Seriously. You understand that? But that's not all. No. Listen, I'm not going to harp on him too much, all right? He had a bad game, and, you know, he was actually being somewhat of a man about it and took the high road. You know what I mean? It was just like, hey, you know, I just have to wait till next week and hopefully prove myself. That's fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that, all right? Like I said, I have a bigger beef with all what the other players said other than him. Now, I will say this. Ed Rendell came out and said, yeah, I know Ed Rendell really has no credibility, but he came out and said, for once, can we just hear a player come out and say, look, we stink, we need to get our shit together? You're not going to hear that. All season, we've had to hear excuse after excuse after excuse on why we're not winning. You notice that? And yet there's fans out there who are stupid enough to buy into it. And I say this because Giants fans and Cowboys fans came out yesterday and said, did you watch some of these YouTube videos? Eagles fans, some of these Eagles fans are shocked that we lost. They're shocked now that all of a sudden the season's over. Why are you so shocked? If you've been watching the games, you've been watching the press conferences and the arrogance and all this, it's been foretold. I've been telling you this for how long? But yet I'm public enemy number 1. How am I the bad guy? I got you guys questioning my fandom all of a sudden? You be fucking kidding me. You have to be kidding me. That's bullshit. I'm going to show you more about fandom later, all right? But let's keep going, all right? Let's talk about the game. First half, they start out pretty good. A lot of you guys sent me messages asking me, why is Vince Young throwing the ball 48 times? Yeah, all right, but here's the scheme. Andy Reid tried to design his game plan to match fire with the Patriots' high-power offense. Problem is, Andy Reid shouldn't have did that. You should know when you're game planning, you work with what you have, but you also have to make them work at adjusting to you as well. You adjusting to their offense with your offense is a bad idea. Yeah, it got us 10 points. Yeah, we could have had more points if a certain person would have caught those balls in the end zone. I agree, all right? But still, the proof is in the pudding. Now, Eagles fans, you have to understand, you can't come out here and say, oh, we'll just let them play football, let them play, and then as soon as a penalty that's not called happens to us, you get all mad about it. You want a flag. Granted, it is a face mask. What happened to Vince Young was a face mask, but they was letting them play. They were letting them play. It's old school football, all right? When you're jumping, you're rapping and tackling, and the guy's not pulling on the face mask, he's not leading with it, guess what? They're not going to call that. That's old school football. That's old school, all right? But I understand it is a face mask, and I will say this. Refs have called face masks on players for less. I will say that. That's being fair. But guys, you have to understand, if you want that face mask call, you want them to call everything, then we should have had 3 in the first half, 3 roughing the passers on Brady then if that's the case. So you telling me you want that face mask and traded 3 other penalties on top of the other penalties we had? Seriously, you guys got to chill. You really do. And I said this on the Twitter. I said, you guys, you Eagles fans, you have to chill. It was the first half. There's still a lot of football to be played. I said, I expect Reid to make some adjustments because, as we know in the first half, for those who don't know, the Patriots played old school football. If you don't know what I'm talking about high school football, the way they start up. They use the run, And then what did he do? What I tell you about last week about those tight ends. It went from the running game to Brady hitting the tight ends to all of a sudden the receiver's deep threat. Now I'll explain. The running game established it. Then when they did the mid-range game with the tight ends, our secondary tightened up and tried to play inside the box a little bit more, which then opened up, was it Desean Branch and Wes Welker for those big plays. Now understand this. I had said we need to adjust in the second half. I had said, and listen, it's on the Twitter feed, so if anybody wants to read it, they can. It was there. I said it before the second half started. I said if I'm reading, because Castillo obviously doesn't know what he's doing. Obviously, he can't see that it's old school football being played no matter how many years he's been in this league. That's right, meaning he don't know what he's doing. If I'm Reed, this is what I'm doing. I'm doubling Desean Branch, right? And then what you do is you get one person to shadow Wes Welker the entire game. Right? So then your secondary can play off a little bit. Also, or jam, depending on what you want to do. Now, in the mid-range game, you let the linebackers play that box. That's how you adjust it. I said this in the first half, before the halftime, all right? But we didn't see any adjustments. We saw actually worse playing. We saw worse playing going on. It made no sense on the defensive end of the ball. Jason Babin is nowhere to be found. Trent Cole tried, but there was times where he was held and they didn't call anything. Guys, it was a joke. The defense was piss poor, but that's not all. The offense, we're going to talk about this, all right? First off, I've never seen coordinators and coaches get into fights on the sidelines during the game. They had to be separating. Come on. This is drama. I'll put it like this. This team is a dog and pony show week to week causing drama, but it's not built for a Super Bowl, let alone winning the division. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. Don't sit here and tell me it's okay. It's not okay. I'm done with the excuses, but let's keep going. Because as we all know, when we get down into the red zone, now I'm going to explain something to you guys. This is what I mean about bad coaching. We all knew about the passes being thrown 5 yards out of the end zone and throwing the ball and they overthrew Selleck, whatever. Understand this. You are to run the ball. And when you run the ball, and they ran the ball once, all right? But when they ran the ball, they ran to the right, which made no sense to me. Why would you run the ball to the right? If anybody's been watching Eagles football on almost goal line, running, what has happened? We either run up the middle or run to the left. Why to the left? Because it is the strong side of the quarterback. And I say this due to the fact, now I want to put this out there. Vic is a left-handed quarterback, so they have the strong side on the left. If you notice, when Vince Young came in, no one changed. They didn't change the right side of the offensive line to make it the strong side. Did you notice that? This is the inability, of coaching. This is what I mean. It's little things like that that actually help you. But you run the ball to the right, which makes no sense, all right, instead of doing what works. And Reed has to be held accountable for that. He is the head coach, all right? So does Morningweg. So does all those guys, all of them, all right? They have to be held accountable. This is why I say, or at least I should say fans say, it's not just the players, it is also the coaching, and I put this on the emphasis of staff. The look what happened with the trainers. When one of our guys went down and he's hitting his calf, because he can't, when he's hitting his calf like that, that means it's numb. He can't feel anything, or it's probably a Charlie horse or something. What does the trainer do? Walk over there and yanks his leg. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Like, I don't understand where they get these guys. It makes no sense. The gameplay, it was horrible. It was horrible. You have the best rusher in the league right now, and you only let him touch the ball, 6 to 14 times? What the fuck? What the fuck? Because you're too busy playing this pass-happy game and trying to catch up and trying to keep up with the Patriots. Guys, no. This is not how Eagles football is done, but then you want to question my fandom. Did you know that Eagles fans at certain places were cheering for the Patriots? Did you know that? Matter of fact, did you see how angry fans were after the game? If you didn't, check this shit out.
Extremely disappointed here at PJ. They pretty much went silent in the third quarter. You even heard some fans cheering for the Patriots. So it got interesting. One guy that is probably one of the most disgusted fans in the house right now is none other than Angry Greg Ryan. What was your impression of this one? What was the biggest thing that frustrated you in this one?
When we went trying to go for the fourth down in the end zone, and we overthrew Brent Selleck. I mean, that was a stupid play. The play never even had a shot. And that's morning we get Andy. It was a bad play. And that took the wind out of our sails right there. Honestly, they stole the season from us, Meredith. They ripped it from us. And we can't get the season back. Morningweg, Reed, and Castillo have got to go. It's done. They have to go.
All right, you mentioned that overthrown pass, but Vince Young really not the whole issue with this offense today. Desean Jackson missed some big plays.
I'm not giving him the money. He doesn't deserve that money. And you want to talk about catching 3 catchable balls? How about the 2 touchdown passes that he dropped? 2 of them. And the one was a short one. It was for who for one again.
Now, obviously, you're wearing the shirt. You feel very strongly about this move that needs to be made in the offseason. Will the movement start, though?
They shoot horses, don't they? This is it. This is the end of it. I saw Laurie on television looking towards binocs. I hope he was looking for coaches. And at the very least, looking for linebackers.
At the same time, you look at this defense, and one of the biggest issues, again, a fundamental issue, they couldn't tackle tonight.
And Nate Allen was at the head of that list. I mean, the guy played as soft as a marshmallow tonight. Why was he in? Then they left him in the game, of course, and I guess there's nobody else to put back there at this point. Everyone else is injured. Well, you know what? That was one of the worst rated defenses in the league tonight, and we still contained it. And you saw our guys go down immediately upon impact. They came and played tonight. Our guys on defense, our guys did not.
Now, Greg, I asked you this 2 weeks ago, and you said that they hadn't lost you quite yet. You're back here this week, but I think they may have lost you in the 4th when I saw you dancing to Build Me Up Buttercup. Are you done for this season? Are you out on this?
I'll watch the games, but yes, it's over. There is no more race. There is no more hope. It's 7 losses. They're cooked. My turkey dinner wasn't cooked as much as these guys.
Well, Greg, I'm going to let you go. Looks like you need a hug right now, but thanks again for joining us. Maybe things will get better, not this year, but in the future. Guys?
Tell them why you mad. Tell them why you mad. And then look, there's no crying in football. Right? There's no crying when your team loses. No. So, yeah, he does need a hug. But look, guys, understand that everything he said, I had said for weeks now. And I was labeled all types of stuff. Look, understand, Eagles fans, I understand you don't like me. And I'm going to say this, and it is true, because every time I talk, Philadelphia sports, it's fine. When I talk about the Phillies, I don't get any beef with, I don't get any problems with Philly fans with that. When I talk about the Sixers, I don't have any problems with that, with Philly fans with that. When I talk about the Flyers, I don't have any problems with Philly fans with that. But when I talk about the Eagles, here you guys come on your fucking wagon and start crying. That shit is going to end. All right? Understand, Event, you're being too harsh on people. Look, I'm going to give you the truth unmercifully. If you can't deal with that, then you need to leave this channel. You do. If you're looking for someone who's going to hold your fucking hand and have their face so far up the Eagles' asses, no. Understand that's not what it's about. If you are a fan and you cannot acknowledge that there's problems on this team, there is a problem with you. There is. And all those type of people who are just sitting there kissing their ass, yeah, you're outdated. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go. I had to work this hard just to get up to this point, all right, when I'm talking about videos, all right, when it comes to speaking about the Eagles, all right? Because when I first got here, let's be honest, you motherfuckers didn't want me around. You didn't want me around. But as soon as some chick who's halfway attractive or somewhat attractive and got some big tits coming along, here y'all go to jump on her. It's amazing. It's amazing how there's a lot of people over here, and I'm saying in Philadelphia or on here on YouTube, that like to talk and talk and talk, but don't have the chops for it. All right? You have to understand that this team has had problems since day one. And a lot of you guys, I want to put it like this. Like I said, it's not all of you fans. It's not. It's not. All right? And some of you guys had said to me earlier this week, if wide receiver 10, if he leaves, he's going to Dallas. And I agree. Because for those who remember, when I reported earlier in the season, before, when the NFL lockout was going on, just right after it ended, yeah, right after it ended, Jerry Jones got mad and said that Paybacks was a bitch because we took Asamoah. And what happened? They said that reportedly he was talking with wide receiver 10. Let him go. Let him go. You guys keep thinking we need him. We don't need him. We've been winning games before him, and we will win games after him. Won't you understand? That's what it means to be an Eagles fan. Don't give me this bullshit. But yet, I'm wrong. Look, guys, I understand that you're diehard about your team. I understand that. But you have to understand that this is bigger than one player. This is bigger than a coach or whatever. No, this team, not one player, not one wide receiver, this team needs to be dismantled. Because obviously the coaches have lost the locker room. They have. And now the media, now they're just saying, well, have they lost the locker room? Now you want to bring the question up. They lost the locker room weeks ago. But it goes to show you how the media doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. It takes forever for them to figure shit out. They're the last person to understand things. Just saying. Eagles fans, I'm telling you today, like I said, I wanted to come out here and curse you out, but I'm not going to. But I will say that today, I am embarrassed to be an Eagles fan because of the fact of the way you guys have acted all season. And I'm telling you now, I've had messages since 2 seasons now. All right, I've had messages from Giants fans, Cowboys fans, Bears fans, was it Miami fans, was it Tennessee fans? Yeah. Hey, Vin, you know, you'd be great as one of our guys. Maybe you need to watch more of our football so that you can talk about, because we need guys like you. Understand, Philly, you don't know what you got till it's gone. They trying to recruit me here, and you guys want me gone. You do understand that, right? You understand that. See, guys, you have to understand that what I do here is something that nobody else does, all right? And I'm not tooting my own horn. It's a fucking fact. It's fucking proof. Every week, I show you guys. Every week. Now, I will say this. That was the bad news for all this. The good news and all this, since our season's over, the good news about our team right now is that we are the most dangerous team right now out there. And I will explain to you guys, all right? Because if you looked at the rest of the schedule, we can win out, all right? We may not go anywhere, but we can disrupt a lot of other people in their season. You have to understand it. The Giants, I mean, we've done what we can with the Giants. We don't see them really anymore. But Dallas, we see again, we can beat Dallas. We got Seattle, we got Miami, we got Washington, we got all these teams that we can win out on. All right? Now, if we lose against Seattle, then you can kiss what I'm saying goodbye. All right? But we can. That's what you're failing to realize. You have to also realize, Eagles fans, that there's always next year. I know a lot of people are tired of hearing there's always next year. Everybody wants the ring. I understand we're all frustrated, but you have to see it for what it is. There's no more room for this. All this kiss-assing and making excuses for the players and how we need. No, it's not true. Stop lying to yourselves. And you know what? You need to take a good look in the mirror. You really do. And I'm not just the fans, it's the players as well. It's the players. Take a good look in the mirror. Understand that it starts with you. Understand that. Fans, you have every right to be upset. You do. And yeah, especially after what they said last night, you have every right to be upset. And of course, we still get the same canned bullshit from Reed. It's my fault, and we made predictions on it before the game was over. It's my fault. We got outplayed. We got outcoached. We have to try better. It's all the same every week. But that's not all. That's not all. No, let's move on to the other NFL. And I need to talk about a one Tim Tebow real quick, because Bronco fans, you are crazy, and it's starting to show. Hey, look, man, I understand that people are going to get what they want. I mean, that's a bit much. But look at this guy. I mean, look, he's got the Bronco and then Tebow. He's Tebowing him. Oh, what the hell is that? You Broncos fans are fucking crazy. There's something wrong with you. Yeah, that last tattoo, yeah, good luck getting laid, buddy. I'll put it like that. Because there is no way in hell you should even have Tim Tebow, another man's name on your back like that. You crazy. Something wrong with you. But let's get into this, all right? Because I want to talk about the biggest dick eaters of Tim Tebow. And I want to talk about one Skip Bayless. That's right, Skip Bayless, you have to understand something. You have been a walking hypocrite about Tim Tebow this entire time. When the Denver Broncos lose, you say it's not Tim Tebow's fault and that the players around him aren't good enough. And that, you also say that he doesn't have enough weapons. But when the Denver Broncos win, which is mainly off of running, not just of Tim Tebow, but other people and receiving of other people, you don't give them the credit. You say it's all Tim Tebow. No. This is a team sport, all right? Those linemen are blocking for Tim Tebow. Those running backs are running for Tim Tebow. Those receivers are catching Tim Tebow passes, are they not? Don't sit here and tell me that the Denver Broncos are garbage except Tim Tebow. It doesn't work that way, Skip. This is why you will always be known as a troll. This is why if you send me on ESPN, I'll destroy you. This is why you've been ducking me on Twitter. That's why I stopped following you on Twitter, because you just kept ducking me. And everyone's like, see, he's right. Why don't you talk to him, Skip? And then they put they said before, they put our names in the same tweet, and other people that I don't even know put our names in the same tweet because they want you to face me, and you're still too scared. You're still too scared. And if you think I'm going to get on TV and curse you out and carry on, really curse you out, you're crazy. Understand that what I do here is just for fun, all right? If you think I'm going to get on national TV and start dropping F-bombs, you're crazy. I can beat you more than, besides that. I'm better than that, all right? But you keep, looking, with those rose-tinted glasses on for Tim Tebow and realize defenses will figure out that it's a third option. That's what you're running, a third option. You keep saying they need to play hurry-up offense. Offenses are not going to play hurry-up offense all game. No, it's not going to happen. But whatever. Whatever. Like I said, I wish Tim Tebow luck. I don't have a problem with Tim Tebow, as I said before. But this media, this circus, it's gotten out of hand. It has. Now, I need to move on. I want to talk about the football, Carolina Panthers. I know you won, you won your game, but I have a problem with Cam Newton. All right, and it's a petty one, I know, because Cam Newton, when he gets in the end zone, he does my taunt. He does my celebration. You're the Superman, yeah. Anyone ask anyone around this motherfucker how I feel about Superman. That used to be my shit back in 9-6. All right, but he the new school. I'm gonna let him have it. I may have to change my celebration now. So I'm gonna do that. But that's not the point. You guys won. Thanksgiving game. Oh my God. Ejection out. Look, first off, Detroit Lions, you can't have players stomping on other players' chests, arms or stomach or whatever. You can't have that happen, all right? You just can't. And the Detroit Lions had a chance to actually play against the Packers. I know Detroit fans, you guys sent me a lot of mail saying I'm disappointed in the game on Thanksgiving. Look, understand the Detroit Lions still played somewhat good. We're used to seeing the Detroit Lions get blown out like 48-0 on Thanksgiving or whatever. I mean, the Detroit Lions used to play horribly. Even though they lost, they still put in some effort. You have to understand. Like I said, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Be appreciative of what you had. Besides, you played the Packers. I mean, seriously, these guys are on a roll. All right, Aaron Rodgers is on a roll. I mean, even if you beat, them, it's something great to say. But even if you lose, I mean, at least you didn't get blown out. At least you didn't get blown out really bad. I mean, it could have been a lot worse than what it was. To be quite honest, it just could. But I need to move on. Let's talk about more football. All right, guys, I'm not understanding this Jets versus Buffalo thing. For those who didn't see what happened, Stevie Johnson has decided to start celebrating the end zone. I want to talk about this because if you notice, as of late, we talked about this last season, how the NBA, I'll talk about the NBA later, the NFL has started finding people for not letting, for celebrating in the end zone. So since they can't celebrate in the end zone these days, they celebrate after every catch, after every tackle, and we talked about that, last season. Well, this season it seems like the NBA, there I go again, the NBA, the NFL, the NFL is actually letting people, celebrate when they get a touchdown. Now, guys, understand, I don't have a problem with celebrating after touchdowns, celebrating after a tackle or after a catch that really doesn't do anything. Those I have a problem. Or celebrating before the touchdown, those I have a problem with. All right, after a touchdown, hey, that guy worked hard to get into that end zone. Let him celebrate. I understand that. But what Stevie Johnson did last night was very pathetic. All right, now the first one he did with the jet and acts like he was crash landing, I'm okay with that. That's funny. He's having fun. Whatever. All right. I understand that a lot of people didn't like that though. I understand that. All right. But when he scored the touchdown, and he decided to celebrate by talking about Plaxico Burress, acting as if he shot himself in the leg, that's pretty fucking disrespectful. That's pretty disrespectful. The only people I would even think that would be okay to do against would be the New York Giants. You know what I mean? If the Giants had did that, I'd say, okay, they have some history with Plex. I understand. But a Buffalo Bill to come out of nowhere and do that, that's wrong. But you know what? It called up to Stevie Johnson because he dropped a lot of passes that would have actually got them, to win the game. So I don't care. But there was a report with Bob Costas, not too long ago, saying, where are the coaches? Shouldn't they be held accountable for the way their athletes act? And I've said this before. When you let athletes act a certain way, you're just giving them a free pass, and it is on the coaches and in the locker room. You're giving the locker room a free pass. Well, now it seems like the media is just now catching on and talking about this. It's amazing. And yet these people are hailed as great, mediators and great analysts and whatever, man. Whatever. Seriously, at this point, I don't even care. The Chargers dropped 6 straight. All right? The Raiders still doing anything. I don't even have a problem with the Raiders are doing anything. I mean, the 49ers and Ravens played. 49ers lost. Hey, you haven't lost in a while. It's been a while. It's still good luck to the 49ers and good luck to the Ravens. Steelers, same way. Good luck to you guys. I saw what y'all did against KC. Had a couple parts in that game where you guys were, some guys were so-called hurt, but then they got up and they were fine. At first, it was like you almost wanted to hold your breath for, some of those collisions, but what can you do? And Ben Roethlisberger still looks like Seth Rogen. Sorry, I have to tell you that. But let's move on. Guys, I want to talk about the NBA. I really do. The NBA, as you all know, the lockout has ended. And, I'm not really happy about it due to the fact that it's a bunch of bullshit. But, because seriously, this could have been dealt with a long time ago. But now players, I understand people are happy the NBA's here. And the only thing I'm happy about is the fact that on the fan page, we can start talking shit again and making those long threads and talking. That will be fun to do still. That was fun last season. It'll be fun to do this season. Some of you guys have already started talking some fuck the Miami Heat. And so it's It's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. I will say that free agency starts on December 9th, and the first game will be played on Christmas, which will bring you all the heavy hitter teams, the Lakers, the Heat, you know how it is, the Celtics, you know how this goes. You know how this goes. The NBA knows what they're doing. This is why they said we had to have something before Christmas or it's done. Yeah, because that's their biggest time of the year that they get ratings. That's why. And Jim Rome, I need to talk about you for a minute. Because Jim Rome, before the NBA, decided the lockout was over, Jim Rome called out all basketball fans and said, oh, you basketball fans say that you don't care about the NBA. Yes, you do. You care about the NBA because what else would you do at night? You'd sit and watch Dancing with the Stars. You'd watch reality TV shows like Survivor. I don't know where the fuck this guy, and this is what I mean about ESPN only catering to a white collar, fans. Because where I'm from, we'll go and play. After this video, I'm going out to play. So understand that people go out and play. We go out and play. If the NBA's not on, we're going to go out and play basketball. Even when the NBA is on, we go out and play basketball. Jim Rome, shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut up. You're not out there with everyone else playing basketball, but yet you're going to judge everyone. Oh, you're just going to sit on your fat ass and watch this and that. No. No one's sitting in the house just to watch TV and you know what I mean, and say, oh, there's no NBA, I don't care. No, if we want to play basketball, we're going to go out and play basketball. It's that simple. I don't know what Jim Rome is talking about. Someone needs to sit him the fuck down and just give him make him take his medication as far as I'm concerned. But let's move on. Speaking of medication. All right. For those who don't know, J.R. Smith has signed over in China. He's playing basketball over in China. And apparently China gave him all these luxurious things. They gave him a penthouse, a private chef, and all these things. Apparently he's playing basketball over there, and he fakes an injury. That's right. He fakes an injury so he doesn't have to play anymore. Now, they asked him to go take the MRI. He wouldn't take the MRI at first. The MRI showed no structural damage, no ligament damage, no swelling, no nothing. Nothing's wrong with his knee. But yet he was saying how he can't walk on it, and he refuses to take all that. His attitude was just unruly. Well, the people over there decided, well, you want to act like that? We're going to cut your contract. We're going to cut you off. You're not worth it. And then all of a sudden, here comes Starberry. That's right. Stephon Marbury apparently knows a lot of people in China. He's played over there. He's got good connections. Actually saved J.R. Smith. That's right. Now, look, I have a problem with this. I understand. He's just looking out for other players. I understand that. But it goes to show you that American players, and I'll say this, from American, spoiled American players don't know how to act. And it makes the rest of us look bad because the fact is, China apparently, now look, I'm not big on China, and I say this due to the fact that there's sports, due to the fact that what happened, for those who saw what happened when Georgetown went over there and the big fight started and they started running off the rafters, started stomping on the athletes and carrying on, yeah, that's a problem, all right? But it seems like they dedicate off of hard work. They don't want any diva aspects. You go there, you work hard, you put in your time, and you don't have to worry about it. Well, J.R. Smith is so grateful for what Marbury did for him that he decided, he gave him a second chance. He's staying there. But now, instead of having that penthouse and that private chef and all the other bullshit they gave him, yep, he's just being treated just like any other part of the team. He's got to sleep in the same hotels with the team, with teammates and carrying on. So, yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll put the link in the info bar so you guys can read it. I mean, it's interesting to see how these guys start becoming divas when they're throwing a little bit of money. And these guys are so-called from the hood, they still hard, they got these tattoos, they from the hood. That shit don't mean nothing. But you have to understand, you should always remember where you came from because you don't let the money change you. If you let the money change you, there is going to be a problem. And it seems like it caught up to him. I'm just saying it caught up to him. I'm looking forward to the Sixers. That's right. I know I'm saying I'm looking forward to the Sixers. All right, because I want to see what they're going to do with 66 games left in this season. That's still more than enough to get it together. All right, but they have to work. After what we saw last season, I'm going to be hard on them. You guys know how I am. I'm going to be hard on them. If they don't, I'm telling you now, they have to come out guns blazing. They really do. I also want to see what this rookie can do. Let's see if they just throw him into the fire or not. See what he can do. I'm seriously having a real hard time with the franchise right now because of the fact that it's under new management. I understand they're trying to do all the right things. They cut half prices on the seats now because they're trying to bring in fans. Yesterday they had a contest where you can vote for the mascot, the new mascot for the Sixers. So I guess hip hop is gone. They're just trying a lot of things right now, and I understand that it's all good. It's all good things, but I can't help but think that there's an ulterior motive behind this other than just money. You know what I mean? Because as far as I'm concerned, if you want fans, if you want to bring fans back to back to basketball, you should go to those basketball communities and show that you care, not just random people and just say, oh, we're going to slash ticket prices. We're going to let you vote on a mascot. That shit means nothing. it means nothing. You know that your fan base is lacking because of how bad they are, so you have to cut tickets. That's not something you're doing as a favor. It's something you have to do to survive. It's something you have to do, all right, if you want to make profit. But if you go into these basketball communities and get in contact with these people and maybe renovate some places and show that you care about basketball, because hockey's doing it right now, all right, and show that you care about basketball, you'll get that respect from that community. They will come to the games regardless of the pricing. I'm just saying. And season ticket holders, I'm sure you're happy right now due to the fact that they didn't just take your money and run. Now you actually get a chance to have a season. Just saying. Anyways, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm done for the day. Like I said, I got to go play basketball. I'll talk to y'all then. Y'all be safe. I'm out.